lastly, and this might be a extended discussion for us. Roddy Ricch, Feed the Streets 3. So, backstory for those who are new, those who may not be tapped into Roddy Ricch. He dropped Live Life Fast last December, and that had a lot of high anticipation for it because he gave us Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial at the end of 2019. Songs like The Box. What else was on there? Boom Boom Room. It was an album honestly full of hits. Fantastic album. And so the expectations were very high for him. He came in talking a lot of shit, saying no one else's music inspires him. He's going to go out, live life, and then he's going to give people music that reflects the life he's living. He gives us the album. That shit was not good at all. Like, at all. Like, just really nothing redeemable. I gave it fair spins when it first came out. I have not felt inclined to go back to it at all. So, it put Roddy in this interesting position where he felt like he had something to prove. His back was to the wall, which is an unfortunate reality of this era that we're in. People are so quick. As soon as you miss once, people are ready to say, oh, he's washed, he's done, he's cooked, blah, blah, all that. But I'm like, Feed the Streets 2 was good. Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial was good. Roddy's features are good. Everything he's given was good up until this album. So I'm not gonna write him off. Like I'm like, nah. It's just like he just needs to bounce back. We talked about that on the episode where you and Alice came. Feed the Streets 3, he teased it like maybe a month or two after Live Life Fast dropped. And he was dropping snippets. Like he was just trying to remind people what he could do. But I love that he was put in this position because I think we are quick. Not only are we quick to tear people down, but we're quick to give people star status. Roddy had an amazing album, Grammy nominated. I believe he's a Grammy winner at this point. So we were quick to elevate him, put him in the class with the Lil Babies and the Gunnas and, you know, Uzis and all of them. And I think we needed that reminder, and he needed that reminder. Like, you know, the higher you are, the harder you fall. Mm. And I think him getting into that bag is why this project, Feed the Streets 3, was really good to me. I really enjoyed it. I think he sounds passionate. I think that I like the production efforts. I like that he remembered, like, yo, I can croon as well as I can rap, and he blended that on the project. Like, I think it's really good. I love also that he didn't have too many features here, because Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial had a good amount of features. Live Life Fast was like, feel like it was mostly features. This one he only had Dirk and Ty Dolla $ign, so it was 15 songs. He's handling all of it. And the thing that made me laugh is a lot of these songs, he's just talking to shit. He's like, yo, I got mad money. I got all these accolades. Like, he's like, yo, if y'all gonna hate on me and try to tear me down, I'm just gonna flex on y'all and remind y'all how rich I am. Sometimes you gotta do that. Like when niggas wanna talk crazy to you, when niggas don't wanna like give you the credit you deserve, or they wanna write you off quick, like be like, yo, you're broke. Like you ain't got shit. Like
that's what you do.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what you do.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
I ain't get there yet, so I don't know. But I feel
you got more money than me. Get out of here, bro. No, don't do that. But like sometimes you gotta remind niggas, because if you don't remind people, then they'll forget. And I'm just like, Roddy was too important in 2019 and 2020 for y'all to let one project be like, oh no, he's cooked, he's done, it's over. Like that's nuts to me. So I think this is a really good reminder. I don't think it's perfect. I don't think it's an amazing project, but I do think it was really good. And if we're going to call it a comeback album, then he came back. I don't like using that just because, again, it was one bad project. Like if he had like 3 years of bad projects, I'd be like, okay, yeah, this nigga needs he needs to come back. But this one was just like, he kind of shat the bed last year, and he got back to where he needed to be. So.
Yeah. I think with his second album, what happened was he made us wait. Mm-hmm. He built this anticipation, and the more he did it, the higher he set himself up for failure almost. Yeah. So I don't think that, and it was a pretty bad album. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty bad album. Yeah. But I don't think it was as bad as it seemed if he hadn't kind of taken the Kendrick Lamar approach, where it's like, I'm gonna make you wait, and then I'm going to give you something. And then also leading up to it, if I remember correctly, he was like pretty vocal too.
Yeah, he was talking shit.
He was pretty vocal about how this is going to get one, and he's really confident, and he didn't really get the response that he wanted. So honestly, I just like seeing people take a punch and get back up. Yeah. Right? He took a punch and he got back up. With this album, it gave me the feeling of that 2019 a little bit, right? Where I was like, okay, this is the person that I was introduced to.
Yeah.
Right? This is the person that I knew, and I was like, okay, let me listen to it with some open ear. So there was a few songs that are skippable for me. Not everything that I loved, but there was a few where I'm like, you know what? I could go back to it. I could play this. He sounds like he's getting back in his bag. And like I said, man, I like seeing people win.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of artists who don't recover from sophomore slumps. There's a lot of artists who don't have the confidence to get back in the studio and give it another shot.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's actually doing that. So I'm always going to support that, whether I listen to the music, like the music or not.
Yeah.
Like, I got to support the person behind the music at some point. You know, I think that's where we lack as an audience sometimes. We don't really take the time out to remember that these people are people and this is art.
Yeah.
And whether the art is ass or not, it's still something that they're giving us. You know what I'm saying? So I saw a tweet, and I don't even mean to like go off the rails, but I saw a tweet. Meek Mill, he was venting about how record labels don't pay out anything, right? So they're almost giving this music out for free, essentially, and they invest so much time, sweat equity into it. So shout out to Roddy Ricch, man. And I'm happy to see. And I know his fan base is happy too.
100%.
Because they were going through it too.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of Roddy Ricch fans who weren't able to like stick their chests out and be like, yo, this is the Lil Baby, Da Baby. All these guys came and just surpassed him in a matter of 2 months.
Yeah.
And so I know that was a little difficult for the Roddy Ricch fans and his fan base.
And it was like a double-edged sword move too, like returning to a popular series that he had. Because a lot of artists do that. Like, they'll be like, "Oh shit, you ain't like my project? Let me go back to this mixtape series I had and give you another edition of that." And they'll miss. But I think this one, like, in returning to a place of comfort, he returned to really where he needs to be. Like, just kind of having that chip on his shoulder. Like, I've got something to prove. Like, so kind of like you said, he started to believe his hype with Live Life Fast era. Like, he thought he could just drop something with a very minimal rollout, and you know, he was shown like, it's not that. So I'm happy for Roddy as well. I would say my favorite songs: Number One Freak, Ty Dolla $ign, Fade Away. I like No Rest. I like Heavier. Yeah, I'd say those are my favorites. The singles were good: Aston Martin Truck, Stop Breathing, Twin with Dirk. Yeah. Good project. Like, more than half of it I really like. So shout out to you, Roddy. Welcome back, if we're doing a comeback thing.